Imagine you walk past a lake or a pond and you realize that there's a child drowning in there. And you also realize that you're the only person with the ability to save that child. So the child's life really depends on your decision. But now there's a complication. I mean, you should now walk into the lake or the shallow pond. I mean, there's no danger whatsoever to you. But you've just bought a new expensive suit, you know, several $1,000s, say $2,000 of clothing and shoes. So the complication is by walking in and saving that child, that human life, you will ruin your clothes and your shoes. And these $2,000 will be gone. There will be no replacement, you'll just have to rebuy. So basically, you can save a human life by sacrificing $2,000. Would you do it? Would you hesitate?
I've been playing poker now for quite a long time, and I'm so incredibly grateful for all the opportunities it's given me. But one thing that's I've become more acutely aware of is the fact that I'm only ever really benefiting myself and perhaps the others around me whenever I have success, and I'm not really contributing to the wider world very much at all.
After a lot of years of playing poker, I decided to give 10% of my winnings to charity, and that made me get back some motivation that I lost over the years. It made me really excited about it again, because I recognize this is the best I can do, because if I play my best game and I make a lot of money, I can donate a lot and change a lot of people's life. And whatever I would do instead, I would just never have this positive impact that I have through playing poker. So I combined basically my passion for the game with doing something good.
If we are interested in spending a portion of our resources on helping others for their own sake, then the question is, what should we optimally spend it on in order to maximize the number of people saved? And because it's an empirical scientific question, we should indeed look at the data. So many people, when considering that question, would say, I'm just going to go by my intuition, by my gut feeling. I'm just going to pick basically a charity that's close to my heart, that convinces me intuitively. But that probably seems an unwise approach, because remember Wikipedia's big, long list of cognitive biases? These are all irrational patterns that show how our intuition, our gut feelings are systematically wrong, and how it pays, to reason more formally, to calculate more explicitly. So it's probably bad advice to just rely on intuition. And here, because it's an empirical scientific question, we should indeed look at the data. We should look at scientific studies, at RCTs, randomized control trials that have been done about the worst causes of suffering and their possible remedial interventions.
There are some charities which are by an order of magnitude more effective than others. We pick out the ones that are hundreds of thousands of times more effective than some other charities. And assuming that people's lives are of similar value and we only have finite resources which are going to be spent on charities, we need to target the ones which can do the most. This is what we want to do.
Just do the math, because it really pays big time to look into the data. It turns out that charities vary greatly, enormously, in terms of cost effectiveness, some being literally 100 or even 1,000 times more effective than others. And it's paradoxical, because where it matters the most, where real lives are on the line, people look into cost effectiveness the least. And we want to turn that on its head.
Sometimes you will ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting here right now in this stupid tournament and sitting on my 10 big blind stack, and why am I here? And then you will have in the back of your mind, oh, I have a goal, I want to win as much as possible so I can give away as much as possible. And it will make you go through the hard times way easier.
It's starting to really get a lot of movement behind it. The idea is about finding a way for poker players to give something back, to actually make a real contribution to society, monetarily and mentally as well, because it's also based upon the model of effective altruism, which is about using rationality to figure out the most effective ways to spend limited funds, which is what the situations we all have. No one has infinite money to help fix the world, so we have to figure out the most effective ways to spend it. And secondly, it's about encouraging rational thinking in general. And obviously, us poker players, we try to pride ourselves on that, and it's always a work in progress.